today. Cisco, he not here, taking care of business and shit like that. But today we got Young Don, the Sauce God, How I Lost My Girlfriend, I Got Her Back. So we can get straight into it.
Yes, like the video, man.
Yeah, like it up.
Subscribe.
Tell your friends.
I'm so glad you're back. I can't wait to see you. To which, she didn't respond. Next day rolls around, she texts me, we need to talk. No good news in the history of ever has ever come after we need to talk.
That's tough, bro. It's tough. That's up.
Rub my leg. I used to have to crawl. She used to rub my leg.
I've definitely had some nights after basketball practice. This is back in Jamaica, where my mom had to get the Bengay. You ever accidentally get Bengay on your balls, bro?
You ever do it on purpose? Hey, man.
You sick fuck. Hey. What the fuck? What? Don't look at me like, now you know why.
You have it all. You did it on purpose. You didn't tell me.
No, why would you put Bengay on your nuts?
Well, first of all, it was actually hot.
I need that. That's wrong.
Same thing.
I know, even worse.
How do I get her back? The one that got away. This is a question that a lot of guys will ask themselves at least once in their life, right? It's a question that I've asked myself more than a couple times. Nowadays, I live by a code of ethics and principles that don't allow me to go backwards and try to rekindle an old flame. But I wasn't always like this. I can think of 2 times in my life where I did exactly just that. Now, the first time was completely by accident, right? A girl that I really liked broke up with me and then a couple months later came back asking for a second chance. Now, at the time, I had no clue as to why this happened. I just thought she had a change of heart, realized that I was a great guy and she had made a mistake. But now that I'm older and been around the block a couple more times, I realize why she came back. And I think it's a story worth sharing, not so that you can try and win back an old love because you're better off moving on, but because this would have been useful information to me when I was younger. And hopefully there is some 17-year-old dude out there that this video will teach something to. So, you remember Taylor, right? First appeared in my Toxic High School Relationship series, then in my church camp video. This is the girl that this story is about. We met around the beginning of summer between my junior and senior year of high school. It was during the SAT test. We were standing outside the testing center where my eye was caught by this cute little Asian-y, Latina-y girl that was just standing by herself. And I had recognized her from the girls' basketball team because she was the best player on the team, right? Could shoot lights out from 3, and she was one of the best ball handlers on the team. So I see her, and for whatever reason, I decided to go over and talk to her. Shoot the breeze. And you know how this shit goes from here. I get her number, we start texting, I'm flirting, she's flirting. And before you know it, we're hanging out, fooling around, and in no time at all, I am in love with this girl. So fast forward to end of June, beginning of July, we're halfway through the summer break, the SATs are nothing but a distant memory, and this girl has now become my sun, moon, and stars. So one day, she tells me that her family is going on a cruise, and that they're gonna be gone for a few weeks. Also, there will be Wi-Fi, but it's gonna be limited, and she's gonna be busy with her family doing vacation shit. So communication will be limited. And of course, me being young, dumb, and in love, I was very bummed out by this, but what you gonna do? So I see her one more time before she leaves. We make a big deal about not being able to see each other. We kiss goodbye as if we'd never see each other again. And then she set off on vacation with her family. And just as she said, we didn't communicate much while she was gone. Maybe a couple of messages were sent back and forth over the course of the 3 weeks she was gone. But I managed to get through it, fueled by young love and the anticipation of the return of my Juliet. Finally, the day of her return arrives, and I remember texting her and not getting a response for most of that day. Eventually, she reaches out to me, but comes across distant. I probably responded right away, saying something like, "I'm so glad you're back. I can't wait to see you." To which she didn't respond. Next day rolls around, she texts me, "We need to talk." No good news in the history of ever has ever come after "we need to talk." And my guts already knew that this was gonna be bad, but inexperience blinded me from the heartbreak train that was so clearly barreling towards me. So we meet up at a park that we hung out at a lot close to her house. And she broke up with me, nigga, surprise. She said some bullshit about making friends and freedom. I don't know what happened on that cruise, but she probably just got dicked down by some cool older guy with more game than me, and that put things in perspective for her, you know? So when she came back to the lovesick, clingy puppy that was a 17-year-old me, she wasn't into it anymore, which makes sense now. I mean, that's not a very uncommon story. But luckily, I was still naive enough to buy her story at the time, so I didn't fucking kill myself. But I was still very much heartbroken, right? And I remember trying to convince her to get back with me, which almost guaranteed that she was not gonna get back with me. You see, when a girl pulls away, the only appropriate response, especially if you want her to come back, is to pull back even further. So after the begging and the pleading and the "baby come back, you can blame it all on me" didn't work, I eventually just gave up and did what every dude does in this situation. You crawl back to your niggas, broken and defeated. The same niggas that were always there for you, but you abandoned them for a girl who has now left you in shambles. And at first they made sure you realize how fucked up it was for you to turn your back on them for a girl. There were many a days where niggas could not run full court because you were off somewhere cuddled up with some girl. Many nights when the freestyle session in the back of the car didn't hit the same because you weren't there. And even though you're trash at freestyling, your presence added to the vibe.
So nobody realized that nigga on the left had a nose. He didn't have a nose.
Wait, he ain't got no nose?
Wait. Go back for that nigga don't got no nose.
The car didn't hit the same because you weren't there. And even though you're trash at freestyling, your presence added to the vibe. And you let some girl take that away. And now she's done with you and left you a shell of the man you once were. But they are 10 toes down. So they take you back into the group so they can rebuild you from the rubble into a better, stronger nigga. And like a phoenix, you rise from the ashes on a healthy diet of "fuck that bitch," and she wasn't even that bad anyways. And with time, you return to form. And you start acting like your old self. But now, you're better, stronger. The heartbreak has made you more of a savage. And thus begins your journey to becoming Young Don, the Sauce God. Or whatever the fuck your name is, nigga. You get the gist. And that's what happened to me. By the time senior year started, I had gotten over the breakup, and I held no resentment towards Taylor. The only thing I cared about was basketball, school, and my niggas. I would see Taylor at school and wave hello and keep it moving. And she noticed this. She saw the glow. She saw that I was okay without her and had moved on. I didn't text her. I had no interest in being friends with her. And that ultimately is why she came back. But again, I didn't know that. I didn't know that's why she came back at the time, which is why about 7 months later, she broke up with me again. But the second time I got her back, I wasn't as clueless as the first. But that's a story for a different day.
Man, he dropped some real knowledge in that video, man. Pay attention. Some real stuff. Take notes, you feel me? Yeah. So, alright, we're gonna do the outro real quick, man. Alright, Arnie, man. That was how I lost my girlfriend. Got her back from Young Don the Sauce God reaction.
You're a cool dude.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah, so like, subscribe, share to all your friends, man. And we're gonna see y'all next time.
Some niggas don't put on for drugs, they'll come around tryna sip my lean. Why you bringing up the murder? Tryna get police a lead. Even though I got a bag, I cannot leave you on these streets. Ain't no rich sex when I fuck you, I gotta take off all these rings. No